What's going on, y'all? It's good to be home. If you saw our last video, cold, snowy, blizzard-like conditions. It's nice to be back here. Actually, not even in a jacket or a coat at the moment. Got some nice weather, but we are home just in time before some new, fresh, cold weather comes here to Texas as well. We got to prepare and get ready. But figured I would take a moment and talk to you guys about what do you have to do when you are up against conditions. Like you've got plans to be somewhere, something's going on, you need to be somewhere, you've got something you have to do, and you may have something that comes up that maybe prevents you from it. For me, it's illness, getting sick. So this last couple of weeks worth of videos has been about the fact that we've had deaths in the family. My grandmother Sally passed away, who was a huge part of my life. She was like a second mother to me, and it was very important that I be at her funeral. That was a very high priority, and it was funeral arrangements and everything were set, and it's like, okay, we've got to go, time to go. And I started getting sick. Nothing like driving 1,000 miles sick, but I've got a proven method that works for me. I'm going to share it with you. But before I do, let me just give you a huge disclaimer. These videos and this channel are entertainment for you. I'm not a doctor, and I by no means am offering you medical advice whatsoever. Mainly, I would say don't do what I do. So not only will I share with you what I use and do, I'm going to tell you about some of the side effects that I've encountered, because, it's probably not perfect. In fact, quite a few of you are going to look at what I use to get through situations like this and be like, that's bad. So, in fact, I know Felix from Happy Place Camping is right off she's going to jump on me about one particular thing. She probably already knows what it is, because Jesse's, I believe, been to the hospital over this. We'll get to that in a few minutes, or soon. So, when we got that out of the way, don't do what I do. I have used these items multiple occasions. If I had to work, an event comes up, something, I'm usually able to get myself into a position where nobody knows I'm sick, so that I can take care of business. So let's take a look. So first off, we have got, we'll call it Mucus D. Well, that's what it says. Mucinex D is the name brand. Mucus D, basically all the same ingredients. Saves you some money by getting the off-brand. This stuff works amazing. It does have some ingredients though that are a part of what would go into some narcotics that people have been selling. So this is a controlled over-the-counter medicine. So you have to show your ID to get it. I have found this stuff to work amazing, to help clear me up, help open up my airways so I can breathe better. So take 2 of them, last 12 hours. During this time, my dad, John, also got sick. Hi, Daisy. And he tried it out too, and he was actually shocked at how well it worked for him. So he immediately went off to CVS to get some. Unfortunately, that CVS was sold out, and he had to get the name brand, Mucinex D. The other item, which I take every 4 hours, Dayquil. I guess if I can save a couple bucks, I will. Besides, I love HEB. But this is typically Dayquil severe cold and flu. Take it every 4 hours. It's the daytime version of NyQuil. And yes, I will take NyQuil as well while I'm sleeping, but yeah. And then mix that in with usually energy drinks, but I have found cause for using this specific brand with this color can over any of the other energy drinks. And the reason for that is an ingredient that I've discovered. It affects most people by making their skin itchy, which that doesn't sound appealing, does it? I don't mind it, but typically what that ingredient does for me is it actually causes my airways and my lungs to open up. Its purpose being is to help you exercise and work out so you can get deeper, bigger, more productive breaths. Well, I find that while I'm sick, that's pretty handy. So between this, they're all making my airways open up, allowing me to breathe much better. So the ingredient that's in this is called beta-alanine, And I found that out of all the other canned energy drinks, they don't have beta-alanine. I like that material so much, that ingredient. I have actually bought a 2-pound bag of it off of Amazon and can add it to my water or drinks any way that I like whenever I feel the need to use it. And another note, I love energy drinks as long as they're sugar-free, but I've learned that, there can be some adverse side effects to not just energy drinks, but caffeine as a whole. The whole month of December, I weaned myself off of caffeine. That's right. I was completely caffeine free and was pretty happy. And when I started getting sick, I'm like, I'm going to need this beta-alanine and the energy. There's other ingredients in these energy drinks too. It just helps me get the job done, gives me the motivation to push through even when all I really want to do is lay in bed and be sick. So, here's the plan or the problem. I've got a funeral that I absolutely need to be at, and I'm coming down with something that has already struck all of my family. It's like I need to go. I understand that I'm possibly maybe getting other people sick. I need to go. This funeral is very important to me. So I use these 3 products to get me through. Now, I said side effects. I had a moment on our drive up to South Dakota where I would say I took the Dayquil and the Mucus D at exactly the same time. And we started driving and I got a horrible stomach ache for about 10 minutes. And I didn't stop. I was worried I may have to throw up. I didn't stop. I just pushed through, just doing my best to mentally get past that feeling, and it did subside and go away. And so I made a note in my mind, stop taking those at the same exact time. Space those out so that both medicines are not interacting in the stomach at the same time. I don't know if that's what caused it. It could have been something else I ate earlier that day. At any rate, it was really uncomfortable. That was tough to get through. That's one of those, like I said, this may not be a perfect situation. You could, most likely, I'm sure somebody's going to come along and be like, you're putting yourself at great harm by doing this. I get it. Somebody smarter than me, I'm sure, will point out all the science as to why that is. Now, while we got to South Dakota, I got better. I was fine. And people started getting sick up there, then I felt, oh man, I am really sorry. I brought this with, everybody's getting sick. Then I got sick again. And I realized that whatever they had was not what I gave them. It apparently came from the north. There were people coming down from all the way up by Canada that was then getting everybody sick too. So I got sick again pretty much the night before we had to start our drive back. So 1,000 miles back, sick again, had to go through this all over again. This time, the side effects, I don't fully understand what exactly happened. I believe it has completely subsided, but I wound up with a pain in my lower abdomen on my left side. I specify left side because a lot of people would say this sounds like the appendix, but it was the wrong side. I couldn't tell you if it necessarily was muscular, intestinal, or urinary. I felt symptoms from all 3 sides. Coughing was very painful in the muscles down there. And it got really bad. Going to the bathroom 1 and 2 both seemed to be affected by this. So I didn't know what was going on. It felt a little bit like maybe it was this. And the reason I feel that way is because years ago, I worked at Chipotle Mexican Grill, and I was taking Claritin D every day. So a similar decongestant. And I didn't understand exactly how these things worked. It was inside of a time-release capsule. And I got this silly idea to cut one of them in half to increase my dosage from 1 to 1.5. And I took it. Within 15 minutes, I vomited it in the trash can. And then when I realized it's like a paper around it, that's what the capsule is, or the medicine. And it slowly releases the medicine. And by cutting it, everything came out of that end that I cut, which then triggered an immediate reaction. My body was like, nope. So I kind of had some similar feelings like that, which made me think that somehow maybe this got lodged in my intestines. It was causing some kind of problems. Really don't know what to say beyond that. But it did get so bad to the point we were on our way back in Wichita Falls at a hotel. I could barely move. I was in so much pain. I would just go to the bathroom. And then I did get nauseous. I was essentially throwing up, but nothing was happening. But it was so loud that Kaylin woke up and thought, Mom's going to have to drive home. I'm praying that God would just allow me to complete the mission and get everybody home before I wound up having to go into the hospital, just to make life easier. And thankfully, he did help me make it through everything. But it was a scary thing. Once again, I don't know what caused it. I had eaten some pulled pork that I had made that had been room temperature for quite a few hours that possibly had some bacteria growth in it. I don't know at what mistake I made. Clearly, I made mistakes. So, the adventures continue. At any rate, I'm still recovering. Maybe you can hear it in my voice. We're back home. Thankfully, I'm able to work from home. Got a lot of work to do. That is a busy week at work. Lots of times that I would love to literally just lay down, take a long nap, and relax, but I cannot. Work must go on. So I am still taking these 3 items at the moment just to make sure that I get my work done. But, like I said, don't do as I do, because you don't know what kind of pain you may have. But I thought it was an interesting topic because you've got times where, if you're living in the RV life, there's a lot more moving around. There's not necessarily that house that you can just stay at when these kind of things come up. Sometimes we got to keep moving. So what kind of person are you? Are you the type of person that will possibly just stay put, see if you can extend your spot so that you can rest up before going on to your next location? Or are you like me and willing to find these types of medicines and maybe some energy drinks that help you to push through it so that you can get on to your next spot? Let me know down in the comments. And of course, all of you professionals out there that know more about all this stuff than I do, please let me know everything in the comments. I would love to know what body parts I've most likely ruined by taking these 3 products and probably in conjunction with each other. All right, we are back home. Hopefully I've got some time here. Like I said, work's been busy, but I've got a 1,000 Trails from Tennessee review that I've really been wanting to do. Been trying to get all the footage put together so that I can get that video out for you. We'll see if I've got time to get that done for the next video. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you for all your kind comments with the death in the family. And it is 2 deaths in the family. Just my grandmother Sally's brother, Uncle Dell, also passed away 2 days before Grandma Sally. So a lot of, I like the little analogy or the thought, or he died and was there to greet her when she arrived, because she actually did not know that he'd passed. So he was already in heaven to greet her when she got there. Little beautiful sentiment that I enjoy. Both of them were a big part of my life, but Grandma Sally, I grew up in her house. She treated me like her 3rd child, so big deal. All right, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember, life happens, even illness. Maybe let that stop you. Stay fresh, cheese bags.